to your destinations, providing safety, security, and comfort to you both at your homes as well as in public, and relentlessly attacking the criminal element in our society. Again, on behalf of our Commissioner and the Executive, I want to say thanks to all our hardworking police officers and our partners, for example, the population and the other stakeholders. There will be some levels of discomfort to you all, but expect that we will work together. I think once we work together, we will achieve our objective of making this country a safer place. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Before I move on to DCP Jacob, just some information. Certain things that we are doing with all persons who have firearm users license, we have now started distributing the card. So this year will now be a card that will be given to all persons who have FUL. So you can carry this card. It does not mean that the booklet is now outdated. The booklet is still part of the law, that you must have the FUL booklet, but we have heard for years where persons who have a firearm user's license, they feel that the booklet, it is cumbersome, it can be an issue. I washed it a few times by accident. So it can be a burden. So the booklet can remain at your home, but when it is you get the cards now, these cards can be carried. So if it is that you're stopped in a roadblock or whatever, you will have the card that you can then show to the police officer. The importance of the card is not just to reduce the concern of the booklet being damaged or torn, but also the card now will be used as a checks and balance system that I intend to incorporate to ensure that persons who have a firearm, they understand the responsibility. Because with this now there will be a chip. The chip will now ensure that we know when persons would have paid for the renewal of their firearm user's license. And more importantly, what we have noticed is that sometimes persons, they're eager to get a gun. And I use a gun because they want a gun. But then they do not understand how important it is for you to train with this firearm. So there are many persons who have a firearm and they are not training. And by not training, it can cause a negligent discharge, it can cause a stoppage, and it can cause you to have inaccurate fire. So with the chip now, it is going to be mandatory very soon that when you have a firearm, you must go to go and be properly trained to ensure that you do the safety drills, that you have accurate fire, and that you understand what is required to ensure that you do not have a negligent discharge. So there are actually checks and balances for the use of this card more so than just ensuring that your booklet will not be damaged. I also like to take this opportunity just to clarify a matter pertaining to the serious concern where we spoke about persons now believing that it is their constitutional right to be involved in protesting, seeing political walkabouts, political meetings, burning tires, blocking roads. Yes, it is your constitutional right. It is your freedom to protest. But what I ask the public to understand, we are not trying to prevent you from that right. But if you feel your right is so great that you can protest whenever you want, wherever you want, however you want, what you can then do is to affect the constitutional rights of other persons. So when it is that we see persons block a road, and then by you blocking the road because you're concerned about who might be a candidate, or because you need to get lights repaired or roads repaired in your area, and you block a road, what that then means is that someone may very well be taking their loved one to a hospital. And by that person unable now to get there because you have been fighting for your constitutional right to do as you please by protesting, you can now cause the death of a human being or someone trying to collect their child. So you cannot feel that your constitutional right could be so broad that you can affect the constitutional rights of others. So we need to understand before it is you protest, it is there in the law. When it is you find the law is outdated, not my business, the law needs to be changed. Until then, if anyone wants to have any protest, any walkabout, any form that you believe that there's a degree of assembly by persons, you need to request that approval from the Commissioner of Police. I would so do. I will provide that approval. And the importance of this also protects you. It will, based on the numbers that will be there, it will be able for me to assist to make sure that we'll have the relevant police officers on site, make sure that we will have proper traffic control. So it's a number of different things that can assist. But you cannot feel that you can protest. As I said then and I said no, the days of blocking roads, burning tires on the streets, it is over. Anyone that will do that, and we see those persons nearby, and you have a placard, you have a sign, you are clapping, I see that as a smoking gun. So those persons would be seen as persons of interest, and they would be pulled in for questioning to ascertain who are the persons who blocked the roads and broke the law. But there are specific laws. You need to adhere to the laws, please. Likewise, with political meetings and walkabouts, we're starting to see persons doing walkabouts, and again, sometimes in breach of the public health ordinance. You need to understand you have to adhere to this. And for all political meetings, the election bell has not yet been called. So until then, I ask all persons, please contact the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Let us be aware of what meetings you intend to have, where you're having it, the numbers that would be there. As at this time, I do not expect numbers to be more than 5. But if it is that you intend to have walkabouts, please bring it to the attention of the police service. We're here just to assist you, to support you. We are not here to infringe on your rights. But if it is that you feel that your rights can be so broad that you start to affect the rights of others, that is where we would get involved. I will now ask DCP Ford, please, to discuss with us information pertaining to crime statistics, the new crime scene investigation systems being used to improve the detection rate. Mr. Ford. Sorry, Mr. Jacob.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon to inform the general public of the way the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is going about our investigations. Within the last few months, the executive of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, headed by the Commissioner of Police, decided to form a new Central Intelligence Bureau. This particular to form one particular section. These sections consist of several police officers with different skills and ability in the technological and scientific field. Also supporting these units is our Special Evidence Recovery Unit, the Fingerprint Department, and from the intelligence side, the Special Branch. We design it like this to ensure that we have a high measure of synergy in relation to gathering our intelligence and doing investigation. Coming out of this particular section, we now form a homicide support team where at least 2 persons with specialized skills from all these units, when there is a homicide, will join the homicide team to do the investigation. That commenced about 2 weeks ago. And I think everyone will recognize that within that time, we have actually solved about 6 murders within the last 10 days. These murders were solved within 96 hours. We have the double murder in Central where the retired police officer and his wife were killed. We also have the murder in Belmont recently, in La Joquita, and also in Santa Cruz. All these murders were actually solved as it relates to all aspects of technology and the scientific approach to support the homicide team. We want to assure the population that this measure will result in the bandits, the persons involved in crime, realizing now that they can be caught. hoping that it creates a significant deterrent for others who wish to commit